Jays fans, we're going to do things a little differently this week, and it's going to make the video probably shorter, easier to watch because it's spring training baseball, let's be honest. It's going to be breaking down the games and looking at my phone and talking about how Nathan Lucas had 2 hits in a game. Look, let's not do that. I'm going to break down the games very briefly. We're going to talk about, what the scores were, and that's really about it. And then we'll touch on guys that have opened my eyes and question marks and bad things and all that stuff. But I have things written down here to go through. So we'll start off right away. Before I get into the games itself, please, Jays fans, follow up the TikTok page down below. We're up to 91 followers on there and in very minimal time. So it's very cool, but I love to see more of you guys on there because the interaction has been great with especially today's Leafs video. I put the score predictions so you guys can have at it in the comments section. It's a lot of interactive stuff that I want to get involved on TikTok. The link is down below, or if you don't want to click the link, you can go to TikTok and just search NTO Sports Talk and you will find my page. All right, now, the Blue Jays had a pretty damn good week when it comes to wins and losses. I mean, yes, of course, doesn't matter. But the Jays' overall spring training numbers, they were 12-7 on the spring. And this past week, they had a doubleheader and played every day. They went 6-2. Did a really nice job. The offense was good. The pitching staff at times were very good. And let's break it down. We'll start with Thursday's games, where there was a doubleheader between the Rays and the Braves. And the Jays lost the game 6-1 to the Tampa Bay Rays. And then the other side of the card, they won 3-1 over the Atlanta Braves. Then on Friday, they beat the Boston Red Sox 2-0. Then on Saturday, the Orioles 8-6. Phillies 8-3. These are all W's, by the way. Red Sox 16-3, albeit there was no main guys there. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. Yankees, they lost 10-3. Yeah, well, I think Drew Hutchison and Casey Lawrence and guys like that were pitching. And the Pirates, Jays won 7-1 today. So a great job there overall. And I'm going to quickly touch on Kevin Gausman. Because a lot of people before spring training talking about how he's going to have a lot of problems with the pitch clock and all that stuff. He's a guy who loves to toe tap and balking, and that's going to be a big issue for him. I thought today, again, I work a lot on the weekends and stuff like that, so it's hard for me to watch these games, especially during the day. But watching Kevin Gausman today go to work was phenomenal. And not just that, it's the fact that you see what he's doing. The 2 toe tap, quick stop, and go. No balk. He is stopping. He's really good when it comes to the pitch clock. And today, especially that splitter was just diving out of this. I think he had 7 Ks today. He's been phenomenal in the spring, has not allowed an earned run yet in the spring, and he looks in midseason form. Does it mean anything? No, it doesn't. He can go out in the first game and allow 3 in the first inning, and these spring training numbers mean absolutely squat. But it shows me that he's feeling good. He hasn't lost anything off his fastball. His splitter still looks as filthy as ever. Good stuff there. All right? Now, who did we see come back to the lineup? Well, Alejandro Kirk, first off, congrats, Kirky, on the birth of his little one. And he's back, obviously, in the lineup. And, he's looking okay. The eye at the plate, hitting line drives. Alejandro Kirk baseball, baby. Just come in, rake, right? No games, just don't worry about it. Brandon Belt, got to see him for the first time, and he's doing that as well. Just raking. I think he had in his first game, he had a double to the opposite field wall, and I'm like, oh my. On the left side, hitting it the opposite way, that's beautiful. Good to see there. And we got to see Vladimir Guerrero Jr. come back today, and I think every Jays fan, after he hit that absolute piss missile to left field, I think it was 114 miles an hour off the bat. It's great. Seeing him go to second, I'm like, just have a single, Vladdy. We don't need anybody getting hurt now. And you got the second, and I'm like, okay, you good? That's all I care about. All right, but you know what? He looked great. Vladdy's going to be phenomenal. Bo's having a great spring. Springer's hitting dingers all over the damn place. Whit Merrifield's having a great spring. Biggio's having a phenomenal spring. Espinal's having a great spring, but obviously doesn't mean anything. Now, let's talk about the big elephant in the room when it comes to the Blue Jays. And it could be part of a make it or break it for the Blue Jays this season. It could be winning the division or not. Jose Barrios. We talked about it in the first couple spring training videos. Right? He started to work through things. Overall, he's looked decent. Right? I think it was in his last spring training outing where he allowed the home run to Kyle Schwarber, but that was about it. Kind of settled in nicely. Then he goes to play for Puerto Rico. And he plays, Venezuela albeit phenomenal lineup. Right? People are going to say, well, there's like Hall of Famers on that team, all-stars. Well, Jose Barrios is getting paid like an all-star. So, and with all these changes, literally to his hair as well, he's kind of the guy that Jays fans need to see pitch well this year. If he pitches well, this team could have one of the best rotations in all of baseball. You assume Chris Bassett's going to be great. He's had a tough spring, but again, it's spring. Who cares? You're working things out with a new team, working with the pitch comm, whether you want to use it or the catcher uses it or all this stuff. Lots of things going on with that. So I'm not worried about Chris Bassett. Jose Barrios, yeah, we're worried about. Now, I will always have faith in him because of the fact that we've seen it for years and years and years. But that start against Puerto Rico scared me. Now, yeah, or not Puerto Rico, Venezuela. Yeah, sure, it's against all these great players. But great pitchers are supposed to be able to get out good hitters. And watching him struggle and throw a first pitch curveball to Santander to get golfed into the stands, it was scary. Now, does it mean anything for the Blue Jays? That outing specifically? Of course not. But it's the first sign of Barrios not pitching well this spring. And sure, it's spring training mode, right? Everyone's in spring training mode, albeit the hitters are too. But he's got to pitch better. There's no other way of looking at it. If he pitches well, this team has one of the best top 4 in baseball. Can he bring it back to all of his years in Minnesota and even 2021? Or are we going to get 2022 Jose Barrios? If you get 2021 Barrios, you have the best rotation. Well, you could, I guess, on paper. One of the best in baseball. If you don't, then that 4 or 5 spot is still scary. Yes, Yusei Kikuchi, I get it. He hasn't allowed to run in the spring training. He was not great in his last outing. I mean, he battled, but the command wasn't there. He walked like 3 or 4 guys in like 3 innings. So he did struggle, but again, didn't allow any runs. But it's spring training, so who cares about that? You want to see the stuff. And if you have Jose Barrios in the 4 spot and they both have 5+ ERAs, that's tough. Like last year, without Ross Stripling, this team might not even have made the playoffs. Sure, your number 1, 2 were phenomenal, an all-star caliber in Gausman and Manoah, but that black hole of the 5 spot, and Barrios, sure, he was getting wins, but the offense had to put up a ton of runs for him every game. That can't happen again if this team wants to take that next step. So he's the guy we got to keep an eye on. Now, we move on from this game because, hey, it is what it is. You move on. But it's something to keep in the back of your head. He's not going to be facing all those hitters in an entire 1 through 9 lineup in the regular season. Of course not. But he didn't last year either. So we'll see. All right, Jays fans, let me quickly break down this upcoming week's games as in the schedule. And look, we're getting there. I know, it's only mid-March. We still have like a couple weeks to go, but we're hanging in. Let's quickly go through what we're going to see. So, the Jays play tomorrow against the Orioles at 6:05. I don't even believe it's televised. It's so stupid. Friday, they play a split squad game against the Phillies. Both games. One at the, where do they play? Where's Phillies? Baycare Ballpark in Clearwater. And then obviously they come to Dunedin with another team. And then on Saturday, the Jays play the Yankees. Then they play the Rays on the Sunday. Tigers Monday. And then nothing on Tuesday. They play the Orioles on Wednesday, the 22nd. All right? And then obviously the next week, actually it's perfect. The last spring training game is on a Tuesday, so I'll do the, how am I going to do this? There might not be a final spring training preview. That might just be the season preview before the season gets going on Thursday the 30th. I don't know. We'll see. But the next video obviously will be uploaded on Wednesday, of course, talking about the week's games, talking about things that we're seeing, and all that great stuff, right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and are just itching to get real baseball started, smack the like button. Do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the games, thoughts on Kirk, Vladdy, Brandon Belt, the start from Barrios. Do you look into it at all? Let me know your thoughts on Kevin Gausman's start to the spring, all that stuff. Anybody else you want to talk about, do it in the comments, or go to TikTok and comment down there. Go crazy. Go nuts. All right? So Twitter, Instagram, Discord, TikTok, all those links are down below in the description, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys Okay, Raptors edition. They play Thursday as they host the Oklahoma City Thunder at 7:30. As for the Leafs, they're in action tonight against the Avalanche at 7 p.m. at Scotiabank Arena. And as for the Jays, as we talked about, we'll talk to you next week, breaking down the week's games again. We'll be here again talking about, they play 7 more because they have the off day, but they have the doubleheader. I think it's 7 more games. We'll get there, Jays fans, one step at a time, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And baseball. We'll talk to you guys then.